We got another corporate buzzword, and I'm not sure how I missed this one. Forget quiet quitting. We're on to quiet constraining. Constraint, quiet constraint, I guess. To put it simply, this word just shames everyone for not constantly sharing everything they know with everyone. You're constraining information and harming the company and team. Here's a YouTube video that tries to explain it.
So what is quiet constraint? It's a little like quiet quitting, but also a lot different.
I'm sorry, what?
Quiet constraint is where you withhold information from your colleagues. Information that is valuable, knowledge that can add value. You don't share it with your colleagues.
It's a little like quiet quitting, but also it's basically way different. Let me just explain what quiet quitting is. You're not actually quitting anything at all. You're doing your job to the satisfaction of your bosses and coworkers and everyone. You just don't do more work without any more compensation, because going above and beyond these days, well, just usually rewards you with more work. Whereas quiet constraint is just sitting on valuable information and not sharing it with your colleagues.
Say your teammate is stuck with a problem, one that you have a solution to, but you chose to not tell her how to work around that problem.
Okay, so there are so many questions that I have with this random scenario. The project lead is stuck, you have the solution, didn't tell her, and that's your fault. Well, did they ask? Did you know that they were stuck? It's your job as the employee to just know all these things. How come this only applies to employees? Don't executives and CEOs quiet constraint too? I'm sure there are lots of valuable things the executives and CEOs know that they could pass down to the employees, but they don't. No, that's not what this is about. It's about the employees just doing something wrong, no matter what.
Why would someone do that? The question was put to some employees.
So she doesn't even answer the question. Instead, we did a survey on this question, and this is what people had to say.
A lot of them said that they withheld information because they were never asked.
That's right, it's your fault. You withheld that information because they didn't ask you about it. Otherwise, you should just know to tell them. What is this argument?
No one bothered asking them for their inputs.
The truth is, people don't like to work around a know-it-all. People like to work around a mentor, a helper, a guide.
So those who said employers did not provide them with a channel to share their knowledge.
You see what I mean? That makes perfect sense. Why are you just going to go around sharing your knowledge randomly with people if there's no avenue to do so? Especially if people don't ask you about it. But again, that's your fault as the employee. But if you're going to quiet constraint and just sit on all that valuable information, then you might as well sit on it with today's sponsor. The Sihu Doro S100 chair that I'm currently sitting in is the most ergonomic chair you've ever felt. It has lumbar support that are held by sprint. Let me just show you. I don't have enough room in this. First up, we've got the dual dynamic lumbar support. Yeah, that's a fancy way of saying this chair loves your lower back more than your chiropractor does. It's like having two tiny invisible hands holding you up, whether you're slouching at the dinner table or upright in a job interview. This chair's got your back, literally. Now, if you're a giraffe like me or a regular-sized person, this chair's got you covered because the backrest adjusts independently. So whether you're 5 foot or 6'3", your shoulders and neck will thank you. And unlike other chairs, this one doesn't make you choose between lower back support and upper back support. It's like the Switzerland of chairs, neutral but in a supportive way. And for those moments when the Zoom calls just get too much and you need to lean back and contemplate how you got here, well, this chair reclines up to 135 degrees, a full-on nap mode. And then you have the armrests, and these aren't just any armrests, they move in 4 directions, up, down, front, back, and even side to side. You can dance with this chair, and it will never step on your toes. So whether you're typing, reclining, or contemplating your next career move, these armrests are right there with you. Oh, and then there's the seat cushion. It's waterfall shaped for maximum comfort so you don't feel like your thighs are being pinched by the jaws of life. Plus, the high elasticity mesh makes sure you stay cool, calm, and collected, even if your job is anything but. I'm serious, this chair is a game changer, and Sihu is all about making products that let you do your best work with the most comfort. Anyways, go check them out with my link in the description, and you'll save an extra 6% off. Thanks to Sihu for sponsoring today's video. But now let's go back to sitting on some valuable information.
A third of the employees said they felt stifled at work.
I'm sorry, you said a third of the employees said they felt stifled at work, but the number you're showing on the screen is 26%. And that is more like a quarter. A third would be 33%. Who did the teleprompter on this?
As if they did not have the option to share knowledge, even if they wanted to do so. According to one estimate, 58% of American employees admit holding on to information or knowledge that could benefit their co-worker.
Notice how she puts emphasis on American workers. Well, why would we do that here in the United States, where most places are at will and they can just fire you just cuz? It's because you have to play the corporate game. If you go give your playbook to the other team, aka your boss, coworkers, colleagues, right away, they don't need you anymore. That's just kind of what it comes down to sometimes. You know something other people don't, and that's why they pay you the big bucks. And despite these companies wanting you to think their culture is like a family aquarium, it's more like a shark tank.
77% of them are Gen Z employees. In other words, employees born between 1997 and 2012.
I don't get the hate with Gen Z lately. It seems like every single news station just wants to roast Gen Z for not paying attention, not being invested, for playing the game, for smartening up, for realizing companies don't care about them like they say they do.
It topped the category of workers who silently sit on beneficial information.
Why are you just going to go give away all your secrets? That's your value proposition. That's how you got the job. How come the CEO doesn't come tell you everything he knows about business? And I'm sure that it's valuable information, even if it's not directly related to what they're doing. And that's the entire problem with this concept. What defines valuable information that you might be sitting on?
Also, more men exercise quiet constraint than women. The number is 63% to 57%.
I don't know why they shared this statistic, because they don't extrapolate any information from it. They just report it so people can just make their own biases, make their own judgment. It's dumb. Like, they didn't need to add this.
Employers point at a decline in collaboration. They say that the trend is being fueled by remote and hybrid work models.
Dude, anything for these companies to blame remote work and hybrid work models. CEO made a terrible decision that cost the company millions of dollars. That's because the employees are working remote. That wouldn't have happened if they were in the office.
One school of thought believes that flexible working is disconnecting the employees from one another, because the team members are not working together. They are not sharing knowledge, engaging with.
It's like these people have never played an online video game. You can have better collaboration with randoms in a raid finder in WoW than you do with coworkers that you go and work with every day, all week, for 40 hours a week. It's about getting the right people. It's not the distance between them.
What about the team members? Can quiet constraint be good for them? Hardly, I would say. Work politics is never a good idea.
Work politics is never a good idea. I agree with that. It's toxic. It's terrible. But unfortunately, that's how you move up in corporate. You see, in order to climb your corporate ladder, it's all about one-on-ones and politics. And often enough, maybe you've heard the phrase, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, in corporate, it's either the squeaky wheel gets promoted or fired. And that all depends on your politics.
If anything, it will hit your reputation at work. An employee who does not help out her colleague or sabotages a team member is bound to be branded unprofessional.
That's a nice story, but how come all those people are the ones that end up getting promoted? Can someone explain this to me?
So here's what it comes down to. If quiet constraint is the epitome of lack of collaboration, then collaboration alone can fix the problem.
No, forced collaboration is never the answer. Forced fun, mandatory fun.
It is up to people on both sides of the table to come together and find a solution. Do you agree with this? Right.
No, I don't. I do not agree with that. Double smash the like button, smash that thumbs down button. Now, there's another article from Fox Business that says, forget quiet quitting. Now workers are stressing out colleagues with quiet constraint. Workers may be sabotaging their colleagues and company by this behavior. That's right, you're purposely sabotaging everything because you weren't asked to share, and you didn't share. How much dumber does this get? Okay, so then they have this hilariously sort of related video where this guy claims to be able to get rid of the quiet quitting employees, and he just gets roasted.
And he joins me. Dean, I know you're on the speaking circuit. You're a motivational speaker. I'll give you 2 minutes. You give me your shtick right now and tell me how to stop quiet quitting on the job. Go.
Well, first, Stuart, thank you so much for having me on the show. And most definitely, quiet quitting can be curbed. Everything you just said that was just reported in that part before this is exactly true. It comes down to internalized reasons. Shakespeare says, strong reasons make strong actions.
I'm sorry, what? How is that the solution to quiet quitting? The people quiet quitting do have strong reasons and strong actions. I'm not getting paid anymore for all this extra stuff that I do all the time, so I'm just not going to do it anymore.
And so if we want anyone, being that a customer, an employee, a spouse, to take strong actions, we need to be able to help them internalize strong reasons.
How does that stop quiet quitting?
So that's what you tell. You're on the speaking circuit. You're booked to make a speech about ending quiet quitting, and that's what you tell them for $15,000. Is that it?
He just gets roasted. Look at his face. He's kind of taken back here. He doesn't know what to say.
Well, sometimes you charge more than that, but it's a pretty funny speech. But if you're talking about how much I charge, sir, I am sure you are more than $15,000.
Straight to the rapport after he gets roasted. Sure, I'm sure you charge way more than me.
I was on the speaking circuit for many years, but I retired a long time ago.
And it worked. It absolutely worked.
But how's business? How many bookings do you get for employers, and you go to the conference and you tell them, this is how you stop quiet quitting. How many bookings you got?
Well, now that the quiet quitting phenomenon has taken on, I would say that a third of the new bookings I get are related to that.
A third of this man's bookings for $15,000 to tell them Shakespeare. I think we're all in the wrong business. Turns out I'm now a speaker and available for bookings. I don't remember too much Shakespeare, but how about Robert Greene, Alan Watts, Frederick Dodson, Thomas Campbell? No, holding back key info from others may hurt productivity. It might hurt productivity, or it might just waste their time while you think that you're helping them and impose your information and say, here you go, solved it for you. Either way, as the employee, you should have known exactly what everyone else is going through and to go give them your answers. It's tough to have a healthy team when people are looking out for themselves and not the team and the company as a whole. Who quoted this? Chris Holter, a career and workplace expert. Chris, have you ever met a CEO or the board they report to? This one's great. They just gaslight you. Your colleague might waste time researching something when you have the answer, and you should just know they're wasting their time researching and what exactly it is they need. That's on you. Again, that's on you as the employee to just know these things about other people. But what do you all think about quiet constraint? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, double smash the thumbs down button. Really let me know you hated it. And subscribe if you'd like to see me call out more of this corporate nonsense. And if you have any you'd like me to showcase on the channel, you can email, Instagram, Discord, however you want to do it. The links for all of that are down in the description. And thanks again to Sihu for sponsoring today's video. If you're going to sit on all that valuable information, you might as well do it in comfort. So go get yourself one of the most ergonomic chairs you've ever felt. Having said all that, I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll see you in the next one.